What is up, guys? This is PVM Vertigo, and welcome back to Kerbal Colonization. And right here, you can see the Explorer 1. Alright, it's the first spacecraft designed to actually land on another body. So, this one's actually going to be targeting the moon, because I said that we were going to be doing remote tech setups and stuff, but we don't have enough scientific research done on this. We don't have the special solar panels needed researched, because the only ones that we have are the weakest ones, and they can't power the big antenna we want to use to point it at the moon. And the reason we want an antenna to point it at the moon is because it'll be a whole lot easier transmitting data back if we put a base on the moon, if we put a base on Minmus or something. So we also need to set up a relay system so that if we ever want to go out of the planetary system of Kerbal, we won't have dark spots on our satellite network. So we're gonna have to put up like three or four satellites up in orbit, and you'll see what I mean. But the whole purpose of landing on these moons right now is to get the science to actually set that up. So here it is, the Explorer 1 launching a very large spacecraft, one of the largest we've ever sent this series. And we will be sending it on a one-way trip to the moon. Hopefully we can get it on a two-way trip, because we want to get Jebediah Kerman back. So here it is. We just took it into orbit, and we have quite a lot of fuel left, and we're just going to target the moon here. Now, if you want to get to the moon, you want to aim like left of where the moon's gonna, or where the moon is now, because where the moon is gonna be, since it's in a counterclockwise orbit, it's gonna be, by the time you get there, a little bit more to the left. So you want to aim left. So here we are planning our orbit with a maneuver node. We get an intercept, but we want to get a better one. So we kind of just fiddle around with it. And we'll try to get a nice little orbit. This one's kind of funky. I don't like this one. Move it more this way. I don't know. That one's not good either. All in all, we find a good orbit, or good planned trajectory for an orbit, and we begin to execute it. So here we go. Gonna line ourselves up with the blue maneuver node. So that, because remember that the maneuver node is the blue one, and if you click, or if you hover over it and then burn, you will execute the maneuver that you planned. So if we do this maneuver at the right time, we will end up getting into that orbit that we planned. Simple, right? Now, for you newcomers who are new to Kerbal Colonization, because I'm assuming some, or if not most of you are on this episode, what our plan is we're going to colonize and visit every single planet and body and moon in the Kerbal system. So we're going to colonize the moon, we're going to have it self-sufficient. We have TAC life support, so that means that if you have your Kerbals living for too long, they will die from running out of resources. And so the bases will serve as like a self-sufficient farm, electric charge producer, stuff like that. And they will basically support the Kerbals that live there flawlessly, even with life support. So all planets are going to be colonized. All planets are going to have some sort of space station or orbital station or something. And then we'll have remote tech relay networks all over the place, because remote tech is enabled in this. I don't really want to call it a mod pack, but kind of is, because I have a mod list on my channel about page that you can check. So it's pretty much standard. We're not going to be changing mods at all in this series. So here we are, right at the moon. And that orbit was funky when I was looking at it, but it looks nice now. So, doing some planning here. What I want to do is I want to land on the opposite side of the moon that we are now. I want to land on the light side, one, because it's the light side and it's easier to land on, and two, because if you were to launch straight up from the complete opposite side, you could launch straight up and you wouldn't have to do anything with an orbit or anything. You could just launch straight up. If you kept on going fast enough, you could actually run into Kerbal due to canceling out the moon's velocity, and you just fall back down to Kerbal. Because that's what my whole plan is for this journey. So here we are. And, well, we have a nice trajectory set up here. Look at that. Now we're going to set up a maneuver node for a descent, and I don't know why I can't do that. Clicking on the wrong thing. I angled my camera a little bit differently. This is all post-commentary, by the way, if you guys did not know. Because live commentary would sound pretty funky if you did a 4 times time acceleration like I did during the launch. So here we are. We're flying over the moon. And Jebediah Kerman. Wait, hold on. Is that Jebediah? Let me see here. Oh yeah, it's Jebediah Kerman, as always. He is ready for the landing. Now, if you noticed, our second stage is pretty large. It has taken us from halfway to orbit to the moon. Yeah, I took a lot of time designing Explorer 1. This should be a long-term support spacecraft. It should be able to get to Minmus. I'm going to try doing that this episode too. Because we want to research solar panels, and we also want to research MechJeb. We're not going to use like the autopilot and stuff, but we're going to use it for information, because when you have a relay network, you really want it to be precise. So I want to have MechJeb there to like help me do that. Also, it's good for calculating delta V and stuff, because I've been eyeballing everything from the start of the series to now. Like this one here is an eyeballed spacecraft. So we're coming down here. We had something of a complete cancel out there, and now we're just falling down pretty much straight down. There it is. Alright, so we're coming down here. We're using the last little fuel of these engines. I'm thinking of just ditching it now because it's very big and heavy and it's hard to maneuver. And it's going to run out any minute. I really don't want to try landing on it, because if I do, I might actually run out of fuel and crash into the surface. So that's not going to be wanted. So I think we should just ditch it. But then again, I'm thinking, what if I just miss our translation back to Kerbal by like a few delta, or a few meters per second delta V? Oh, that would, I don't think it'll affect us that much, so I'm thinking of just dishing it now. It's getting a little bit close to the moon for comfort, and it's getting hard to maneuver, so yeah, there it goes. Time to enable the last engine we have on the Explorer 1. This has the little puny landing legs. It's good enough for this spacecraft. We don't need any bigger landing legs. And well, that transfer stage is gonna meet its demise, no matter what. So yeah, that 7-core second stage on there, that takes us pretty far. And there it goes. Boom. Oh, wait. Is that thing still alive? That thing is still intact on there. I kind of panicked there and fired my engine because I thought it might explode. Oh, yeah, I panicked there too. But I think it's done exploding for now. So yeah, here we go. First time on the moon. Let's go, guys. And overly cautious here. Don't need to be that cautious with a craft this small. It's not going to break apart, even if you go down on it for like 3 or 4 meters per second. It's not going to make a dent in it. But caution is always good in Kerbal Space Program, especially when you want more boosters. Okay, so actually I did not use any solid rocket boosters in this one. Usually I do, but I try, like, my launch skills are not that good right now, but I mean, I think this launch went a little bit better. I turned over a lot faster. What I did differently this time is I actually turned over earlier. But nevertheless, Jebediah Kerman just got out, took the first surface sample, and he's about to plant the flag of the Kerbal Empire on the moon. For you guys who do not know, the Kerbals actually have an empire that took over the entire Kerbin, and they have unlimited resources, and that's why we don't have to have any funds or contracts or anything in this series. So yeah, here we are, the landing site of the Explorer 1, its first mission. And Jebediah Kerman is the first Kerbal ever on the moon to touch down and land here, and he's planting the flag of the Kerbal Empire. There it is. How beautiful. There it is, the Explorer 1. First flag on the moon. Let's go. This actually would be a nice place for a base because it's nice and flat. It's semi-large. You could have a little bit of a thing going here. This would be a great place for a base. Except for the fact that, I mean, we might have to clean up those tanks there, but nah. Who needs to clean up tanks, right? We can have that as a relic of our first ever trip to the moon. So here we are. Jebediah Kerman made it back in his pod. Okay. he's doing fine, I guess. And we're about to lift off. Now, the way we're launching, the reason why I kind of want the base there is because it's on the perfect opposite side of the moon. It might not always be light there, but it will always be on the other side of the moon because the moon is tidally locked. At least I think it is. If it's not, I might be pretty stupid. And yes, I just stopped my recording there, and I checked the wiki, or the wiki. I pronounced wiki wrong. And yes, the moon is tidally locked, so if I put a base down there, we could always launch up straight the way we are doing. Straight up, and it will always come back to Kerbal. So I think that a base there might be nice. Now to explain what I'm doing further, we are launching straight up opposite of Kerbal. So if you see, watch this. See, our orbit shrinks, and we can run straight into Kerbal. Perfectly. So this is a good way to get back to Kerbal if you just don't want to do any maneuvers outside of the moon. If you were to exit the other way, you'd actually be going out of the Kerbal system. Or the Kerbal system. It would take a lot more Delta V to get out of the Kerbal system. Oh, and we also have astronomers' visual packs. That's why you can kind of see a slight atmosphere on the moon. Or like a little bit of a dust haze kind of thing. You can kind of see it there. Yeah, it's a little bit dusty. Astronomers' visual pack just makes everything look nicer. So here we are, floating away from the moon. Gonna go back to Kerbal. Jebediah Kerman is very happy. So here's the re-entry footage. We didn't do anything else. We just kind of coasted our way. It took me about 5 seconds. I just wanted to get a nice dramatic shot of the re-entry. So yeah, we do have a heat shield slapped on there. This is design that I spent like an hour on, the Explorer one. And Explorer one might actually just be able to take us anywhere, or anywhere in the Kerbal system. Explorer 2 will probably be focused on getting to Duna. It'll be a lot bigger than Explorer 1. Alright, so we are here, and the parachute should be deploying any second now, because we are past the re-entry phase and our parachute won't just violently rip off like it did in the first episode. And no matter what, we're safe, and here we are floating down. So yeah, that's the end of this mission. At least, yeah, not the end of this episode, but the end of this mission, the moon mission. Pretty big step for Kerbal kind. We got a lot of science. I'm sure it's like at least 100 or maybe even 200 science. And we can definitely research a lot of things we want. I think the main thing we want is MechJeb right now, and then the secondary thing is electrics. Because we are going to have this mission and then the Minmus manned mission. So we will definitely have enough science for each. So let's get back into the Kerbal Space Center here. And let's review science. Alright, what do we got? Well, we got a ton of science, basically. 213 total. I'm watching this in the preview window as I post-commentate it. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna get the flight control. We need MechJeb and Protractor. Protractor if we want to do any sort of interplanetary doings. Also, it's just a whole lot easier to keep track of things. We need the Reflectron DP-10 because that can actually be launched without ripping off. Because like if you launch a spacecraft with the antenna deployed, it will rip off, but not this one. The D10 will actually stay on the side of it. Advanced flight control. I think that we should get this because then you can get maneuver and translation. But then there's also the electrics. I'm kind of debating here, but I think that we actually just researched the maneuver and translation one because now we do have those bigger. We don't have bigger fins. Kind of confused here, but anyway, second launch of the actual Explorer 2. And you see here in my launch, I actually turn over a little bit more right in the beginning. I actually turn over way too much, but at 10,000 meters, it's ideal to be 45 degrees. And that's what I try to do. And did I hit it here? I actually think I went too much. Oh no, this might be one of my best launches yet. The Explorer 2 will probably have a lot more fuel to actually land on a moon. We might actually be able to use the second stage to actually either land. I don't know about lifting off though. We might be stretching the limits of Delta V there. But beautiful night launch of the Explorer 2, or the Explorer 1, second launch. I don't know if I said Explorer 2 earlier, but hopefully I didn't. Because the Explorer 2 is nowhere near built yet. It's not even a concept drawing. Here we go. Launching up to 120 meter or 120,000 meters. People usually like to do 100,000 meters for like space stations and stuff and low Kerbal orbit, but I like 120,000 meters because you can time warp faster. You can hear the chatterer guys just freaking out because of how fast this launch is paced. It's 4 times time acceleration, of course. Alright, Minmus is being targeted. We're going to start our maneuver now. It'd be nice if we can get it actually on the incline. Or the ascending or descending node. Right there, it's the ascending node, actually. If we can get it there, that means we can get a perfect target. Oh, it might. Is it? Are we lucky? Oh, we're so lucky. So yeah, we start burning. And since it's on the ascending node, we can actually burn there. And we should be hitting it right on. It's very lucky to be able to transfer to it. Otherwise, you have to do an incline change. And that would not be efficient. I'd rather just go right there. Here we are, end of our burn. Gonna try to finesse the rest of this burn. Get ourselves put in a good place. Chatterer guys are just chatting about. And that's not enough. Oh! I just nudged the throttles and we just hit it. Nudged again and I'm further away, but that's okay. Onwards we go. Last episode was actually kind of funny. Because you see here how our electric charge is staying stable. We actually had to fly a battery, a gigantic flying battery, all the way to the moon. The reason being, it actually was not able, we weren't able to produce any electric charge because we didn't have any solar panels on the thing. Because the solar panels were not researched yet. But now, with the power of solar panels, we can live off of only 600, 900 charge, whatever that is. It's a low amount, no matter what. And we actually had to pack something like 20,000 electric charge onto one spacecraft with no solar panels on it. So yeah, solar panels are a luxury, and we also need them for our satellites for remote tech. So that'll definitely be what's happening next episode. I've already done some like concept things of what I'm gonna try doing with the remote tech stuff, and I think it'll be pretty standard. But nevertheless, it'll be exciting because we are putting together a satellite network in Kerbal Space Program. I mean, how cool would that be? We'll be doing at least 3 or 4 launches next episode. That's gonna be pretty cool. So yeah, here we are, burning around 10,000. Oh, that's a little bit too close. I want to land on one of those flats. Because we might, if we land on the flats, we could actually use our second stage to land. Because it'll be wide enough, it'll be even enough to actually land on. I don't want to land on any funky slopes or anything. Oh yeah, and by the way, we actually do have sound this time. Yes, in case you haven't noticed it, we do have sound in Kerbal Colonization Episode 4. Episode 2 and 3, the sound bugged out for some reason. I don't know why. But I just couldn't re-record it. But here it is. KW rocketry engines and all of their beauty and sound beauty, I guess. There it is. And, oh, wait. Minmus, it kind of has like a little bit of an atmosphere. I started to see a haze. Oh, yeah, this has some sort of clouds. I can see some sort of mist or something. And there's a great flat. Let's land in there. Let's land there. Now, a good thing about a great flat is, 1, it's a great flat. It's good for landing on. And 2, if a great flat happens to have carbonite or kethane, whichever mod you're using, I happen to be using carbonite, you can easily turn this place into a nice organized base that produces TAC life support, oxygen, water, and food, plus carbonite for your fuel. I mean, that's important too. You want to be able to refuel your ships, places like orbital outposts and stuff. And it's a lot easier to organize. I really like the great flats. It's just you don't have people like rolling down hills. You don't have spacecraft that took a long time to build and send to places just crashing in the side of a mountain. You just have a nice flat area. It's very nice. And so I was actually kind of freaking out when I was landing this thing in there was no live commentary, but during when I was recording this, I did not know, I was not prepared to see Minmus. Like, it looked like it was misting or smoking or something. It has some crazy clouds, and from the surface you'll see it's even crazier. But yeah, here we are, kind of overusing our second stage here, overestimating on how low we are. We're not actually to the ground yet. I'm actually time warping down because I'm kind of impatient. So, looks like the second stage is going to do its work, and we might be able to land on it here. Here we are. Coming down at like 5% power. Easy, easy. Jebediah Kerman is like, oh, this is too calm for me. Where's the explosions from the last launch? There it is, there's a shadow. There's the shadow, guys. The victory of the launch is at hand now. Looks like we're going to succeed pretty easily. I mean, the stage after us, too, has like at least 2,000 meters per second of Delta V, or maybe at least 1,500, if less, I mean. And wow, look at those clouds. I was freaked out when I stopped looking at the ground because I was like, holy crap, Minmus is really, really cloudy now. It's crazy how Astronomer's Visual Pack just makes everything look so much more beautiful. Alright, so here's our landing. A little bit overly cautious. I just didn't want to break the bottom of the engines because you see what happened when we landed too hard, or we didn't land too hard, but we jettisoned it, and when those engines explode, they explode. And they can bust apart your entire spacecraft and ruin everything. So yeah, overly cautious landings are okay, in my opinion. Second stage coming down, no landing legs, just gonna do a nice landing right on the engine. Nice touchdown. There we go. So here we are, first ever Kerbal landing on Minmus. That's 2 stepping stones in 1 episode, guys. This is going really well today. Jebediah Kerman's coming out. He's gonna take the EVA report, right? Get it? It's actually less than the moon. I think the Kerbal dev squad actually might have balanced it. Because, I mean, the moon is actually harder to get to than Minmus. You might think that it's not because it's further in than Minmus. But the moon is actually harder to land on. It's harder to slow down and stuff like the Minmus. Look at how this guy floats. It's a smaller body. It's easier to land on and research stuff. So the science is slightly lower than the moon. But that's okay. We only need 160 science for the new solar panels and stuff. So yeah, putting the flag down. The second successful mission of the Explorer one. Well, not successful yet, but it's pretty much successful already. It's supposed to be the first one to land on Minmus. Objective 2 is to come back alive. I'm pretty sure we have that in the bag because we also are doing the same tactic as the moon mission. We're actually landing on the right side so we can launch and stuff correctly. It should be good. Yeah, so this is the flattest place I've ever seen. Jebediah Kerman, 2015. So yeah, he's flying right back to his pod. About to launch himself back, not even to an orbit, just a final, just straight up trajectory. Not really straight up, but we're in the general area, so we could kind of like, I don't know, launch ourselves on an angle. We're gonna be going this way, kind of. Yeah, this should be the aim point in the right direction. Getting some map confirmation. Look at how much that second stage did. We even have some fuel left in it. Oh, here's some more. More. And I think that's all we're gonna get out of it. I could try to go for more. It's still going, the periapsis is going down, but the inclination is going crazy. And I don't think we should change the inclination in this launch from Minmus. I think we should just change it well in orbit. So that's what we're gonna do. We are doing retrograde here, and we are coming down. This is going to be the end of this mission, because we're going to be pretty much on a downwards trajectory. All we're going to need is a parachute, and we have one of those attached. So yeah, here's a nice shot of the reentry. Completely vertical. You can see the last stage burning up over there. That is going to have a really bad fate. That's going to just blow up and not have a good time. And looks like so are we. We're not having a good time either, but we're not going to blow up because of our nice little heat shield we have on it. So yeah, here we are. And we are coming out of the ocean really fast, and we need the parachute out now. So yeah, we're going to deploy that. And looks like this will be a mission success. Explorer 1, second mission. Both successful, 100% success rate. And that's one of my best designed rockets yet in Kerbal Colonization. Alright, so we visited the moon now. And that's part of the Kerbal Colonization philosophy. We need to visit it with the Explorer. And then we're gonna, well, first we need to get a remote tech thing up and running, but then we're gonna send a satellite to the actual moon and try to make it so that if a base is down there, we can actually communicate with it. So yeah, up next is just a shot of me researching the advanced electrics for the satellites. But thank you for watching this episode of Kerbal Colonization. This is the end of this episode. We're just doing a little bit of research here, but I thought it was pretty successful. We did 2 major stepping stones in any Kerbal career. Moon and Minmus landings are very significant. Got a lot of science. Hopefully in the next episode we can get a remote tech network up and running. Hopefully you guys are going to be there. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to my channel so you can see all future Kerbal Colonization episodes. I actually finished a Kerbal Space Program career, KSP career. If you want to watch that, you could. But anyway, guys, this is the end of this episode. Thank you for watching this episode of Kerbal Colonization. Stay tuned. This is PVM Vertigo. Peace out.